everyone, and welcome back to the new session of Biology, Chapter 9 Control and Coordination, Part 4. Last time we studied about the steps in generation and conduction of nerve impulse. Human nervous system. In human nervous system, we started with central nervous system. In central nervous system, we had completed the first part of brain, that is forebrain or prosencephalon. In that, we studied the three parts, that is rhinencephalon, telencephalon and diencephalon. Today, we'll start with midbrain, that is mesencephalon. Midbrain or mesencephalon consists of two parts, that is corpora quadrigemina and crura cerebri, which is also called as cerebral peduncles. Midbrain or mesencephalon. It is located between diencephalon and the pons varoli. It contains the cerebral aqueduct or iter that connects the third and fourth ventricles together. The corpora quadrigemina are four rounded elevations on the dorsal surface of the midbrain. Superior colliculi are involved in visual reflexes and two inferior colliculi are involved in auditory reflexes. So, it consists of four lobes. The midbrain also contains on its inferior surface two thick fibrous tracts called cerebral peduncles. These tracts of ascending and descending nerves form RAS and connects the cerebrum with midbrain. Near the center of midbrain, a mass of grey matter scattered within the white matter is called red nucleus. Functions of midbrain. Corpora quadrigemina. It contains superior and inferior colliculi. Superior colliculi are involved in visual reflexes and inferior colliculi are relay centers for auditory reflexes and that operate when it is necessary to move the head to hear sounds more distinctly. Second part of midbrain was crura cerebri. The function is that it plays an important role in controlling posture and muscle tone. It also modifies some motor activities and motor coordinations. Hindbrain. It is also called as rhombencephalon and it consists of three parts, that is cerebellum, pons varoli and medulla oblongata. Hindbrain. The posterior region of the brain is called hindbrain. It consists of cerebellum, pons varoli and medulla oblongata. Cerebellum. It is the second largest part of the brain. It consists of two cerebral hemispheres. These two lateral hemispheres are connected with a central vermis. It consists of both white matter and grey matter. Cerebellar cortex is made up of grey matter and and cerebellar medulla is made up of white matter. Now, the white matter intermixes with the gray matter and shows a tree-like pattern called arbor vitae. Three pairs of myelinated nerve bundles called cerebral peduncles connect cerebellum to the other parts of central nervous system. Over 30 million neurons lie in the cortex. The surface of cerebellum shows convolutions, that is, gyri and sulci. A number of nuclei lie deep within each lateral or cerebellar hemisphere. Pons Varolii. It appears as rounded bulge on the underside of the brain stem. Medulla oblongata. It is the posterior conical part of the brain. The cavity of medulla is called fourth ventricle or metacele. Its roof has the posterior choroid plexus. The posterior choroid plexus shows three openings. A pair of lateral foramen of Luschka. And a median foramen of Magendai. The roof has posterior choroid plexus for secretion of CSF. This is the structure of choroid plexus. Here, the formation of CSF takes place and CSF is secreted. Functions of hindbrain. Pons Varolii. The main function is that it coordinates activities of two cerebral hemispheres. Cerebellum. It maintains equilibrium of body, posture, balancing, orientation, moderation of voluntary movements, maintenance of muscle tone, and it also controls certain rapid activities like walking, running, speaking, etc. In short, we can say that cerebellum controls the voluntary movements of our body. Medulla oblongata. It controls involuntary vital functions like heartbeat, respiration, vasomotor activities, and peristalsis. It also controls non-vital reflex activities like coughing, sneezing, swallowing, vomiting, yawning, etc. In short, we can say that medulla oblongata controls the involuntary activities of our body. Spinal cord. Spinal cord is a part of central nervous system and forms the lower extensions of the medulla oblongata of the brain. Like the brain, it is covered and protected by bony covering and membranes. Externally, it appears as long cylindrical rod of 42 to 45 cm. It is broad at its anterior end and gradually tapers into conus medullaris. Spinal cord shows two swellings along its length called cervical and lumbar swelling. All the 31 pairs of nerves are concentrated in the region of cervical and lumbar swelling around the conus medullaris. The of nerves in the hind part of the spinal cord along with the filum terminale appears like a horse tail, so called cauda equina. Now let's see the TS of spinal cord. It lies within the neural canal of the vertebral column and is surrounded by three meninges, that is dura mater, arachnoid mater and pia mater. The cerebrospinal fluid secreted by pia mater forms a fluid cushion around the spinal cord and within it inside the central canal. Here, the spinal cord is dorsoventrally flattened. A central canal can be seen in the center. The fissures divide the spinal cord incompletely into a right and left side. Here, you will see that the grey matter is somewhat H-shaped or butterfly shaped. Fissures divide the grey matter into 6 horns, namely ventral horn, dorsal horn, lateral horns. The white matter is on the outer side. It is divisible into 6 columns of funiculi, namely dorsal, lateral and ventral funiculi. The dorsal and ventral horns extend out of the spinal cord as dorsal root and ventral root of spinal cord respectively. The dorsal root is connected to dorsal root ganglia just outside the spinal cord. On the lateral side, the dorsal root, which is connected to dorsal root ganglia, has an aggregation of unipolar sensory neurons. The association or interneuron, which is also called as relay neuron, lie inside the grey matter. They receive signal from sensory nerve, integrate it and direct the response towards the motor neuron, which lie towards the ventral horn. The nerves arising from these neurons emerge out from the ventral root of spinal nerve. The white matter consists of mainly bundles of myelinated nerve fibers called ascending and descending tracts. The ascending tracts conduct sensory impulses from spinal cord to the brain. The descending tracts conduct motor impulses from brain to the lateral and ventral funiculi of spinal cord. Functions of spinal cord. It is the main center for the most reflex actions. It provides pathway for conduction of sensory and motor impulses to and fro the brain, that is towards and backwards, forward and backward. It provides nervous connection to many parts of the body and it minimizes the load of the brain. So now we have completed the entire central nervous system, including brain and spinal cord, along with their functions. So let's stop here. We'll continue in the next video. Till then, take care of yourselves.